my name is Starlight. I want to reach out to all of you beautiful souls out there, see how all of you are doing. And as you see, the sun is out, shining through my window. And, I just got back from being in a park, doing some meditations that I needed to do. And so anyway, I hope you were able to get out somewhere, maybe a hike or a bike path or a park that's not in the city. Get out of that city, get away. That's a lot of negative energy, a lot of funky energy out in the city areas, so you really want to get out with the birds, leaves, trees, and can't forget the butterflies, so get out, enjoy the sun, and today in my area, it's a nice breeze. This is Starlight's favorite time of the year because, I'm looking forward to going camping. This is my birthday month, so I'm all excited. Where is Starlight going? She doesn't know quite yet, but I do. This is my favorite time of the year because it's cool at night. You can go camping, and you can use a blanket at this time of year, and I love it. I love camping and waking up. It's just nothing like sleeping in the tent. Yeah, I said a tent, not an RV. Silly goose, you. So anyway, I hope you're taking really good care of yourself, and that self-love, that really we all need is to take care of yourself, number one, first, before you can take care of anyone else. So anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, you can find me on YouTube, and that is Starlight, and that's Kathy with a K, Dingman. And thank you for coming and giving me a visit. And I have so much love pouring out of me. I mean, yesterday in the middle of the night, this morning, I was blown with so much love popping out of Starlight. Thought I was gonna explode with so much love flowing in me and out of me. And so this is a love day here. And you could give this video a thumbs up. You could share it with a friend, a family member, a cat, a dog, a rabbit. Like I love rabbits, you silly old rabbit, you. And anyway, besides sharing it, my video is that you can subscribe to my channel, and it's absolutely free. I won't charge you a penny. Plus, you can leave a message down below, beep, 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 and I will ring the notification bell, but you can push the notification button, and that's free. Don't you just love free stuff? Well, depending on what you're getting free, you do have to watch out for that sometimes. Sometimes there's catches, to things that says free. But anyway, besides all of that is that you also can follow me on Instagram, and that's 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, Kathy with a K, Dingman, Starlight. So anyway, I want to jump right into this. It's about love. It's about unconditional love. And Starlight has been experiencing unconditional love. I do have a twin flame out there, and he loves me unconditionally. I have a deep love for my twin flame. But before I talk about that kind of love is, like I want to talk about unconditional love. And, I know this is kind of weird for me to bring this up because we're in the summer months, but Starlight's not a fan of celebrating Christmas. Absolutely not. I love the fact that Jesus was born somewhere around that time. December 25th is what there's no, from what I learned, is they haven't really figured out exactly when Jesus was born, but they kind of put it on, the 25th, where some of you, or maybe a lot of you, like, I don't know why you celebrate Christmas, but I would have to say most of the people celebrate Christmas for the wrong reasons, like Santa Claus and, the reindeer. And, we all been lied to about, that there's a Santa Claus out there. I fell for it when I was a kid, and it was devastating when I found out it wasn't real. I was so upset. So upset. And because that was something I looked forward to, something I really believed in. I had kids trying to tell me that it wasn't real. I didn't believe them, and the day that I found out there was no Easter Bunny, Starlight was so good, and, I was like, ooh, I'm so excited about the Easter Bunny coming to my house. And then, I couldn't figure out, there's things that were adding up, and I was trying to figure out, like the wrapping paper, the name tags on the gifts, and all that stuff when I was a kid. And, how come the tooth fairy forgot to leave me something when I put my tooth under the pillow? Believe me, that happened to my daughter too. Where, whoops, the tooth fairy forgot, like to leave some money under the pillow, and, so anyway, the reason why I am not a big fan of Christmas, and I will have videos later on. I gotta be quiet, but is a lot of times at Christmas, it is so sad, is that people either they celebrate it for the wrong reasons, like I said about the Santa Claus, and it's a big money making holiday. A lot of us do know that it's a good way to get your money. And they get you in that Christmas spirit before Christmas even gets here. They start playing the Christmas music on the radio. You can't avoid that stuff, Even on stations that normally wouldn't have Christmas music, I'll be listening to some other kind of music, and then bam, a Christmas song. Starlight's like, especially when it's, like about really getting your money. It has nothing to do about Jesus being born. And, Starlight is not a fan of Santa Claus. You would not want to see Starlight. Like, I have thought about this in the past but I never did this. But I have thought about it many times they have those blow up Santa Claus in the wintertime on people's front yards, and they never last. I mean, like, before you know it, it's all deflated and it looks like crap on their yard. You know how many times I wanted to go around this town, and pop all those babies, but I didn't. I was good, so yeah, Starlight has a wild imagination, that is for sure. So I am not a fan of Christmas at all, and it never made any sense. If it's Jesus's birthday, then why are we getting the gifts, So for years, I didn't celebrate Christmas with my family, and it was weird. They kept on getting, some of my family members kept on giving me gifts every Christmas, and so it is funny how this happens. And I told them, hey, I'm not celebrating Christmas, but they still kept on insisting on giving me gifts. And, so with that, unconditional love, and with, with the holidays, especially Christmas, that's why I have to pick on that holiday, is that a lot of times even when I went to church, it was sickening, people like would, like people would give you something, and you knew, like, they put you on a guilt trip, and normally they give you something before Christmas Day, and because they might go out and buy like maybe a $5 gift, and maybe a Christmas card that, went with it, to wish you a Merry Christmas. And a lot of times what ends up happening is people do stuff like that, but it wasn't their heart space. They were not in their heart space, period. What they were hoping is by giving you something small and simple that it would put a guilt trip on you, where then now you feel like you've got to go out and buy them a gift, and Starlight is not a fan for that. I was taught when I went to church, if you're going to give, sorry about this, is to give because you want to give with no strings attached. Absolutely. You're giving from the heart. You're not expecting anything in return. Absolutely not. and you're doing it because you care and you love that person. So Starlight is a big believer on, if you're like, if I give my money to you, it's because I love and I care about you. You could be a homeless person. I might even know you. But if I'm going to give money to you, it's because I love you and I want to help you and I don't want anything in return. I don't expect anything in return. And that is unconditional love, is not expecting, not setting people up, not trying to put people on a guilt trip, and even relationships, like in love, I do this in my area with homeless people. I don't even have to know you, and if you're struggling and, like you're a homeless person and it's obvious because I see that you're sleeping out on the street somewhere, maybe in the wintertime like I witnessed last year, that blew my mind when I seen it, and it is really ridiculous. There's things that are happening in this world that it still should not be happening still today, but it is. Is it getting better? Absolutely not. It's not getting better. There's more homeless people, and, they act like they're helping people out by throwing them all in a shelter. That, like, if you were homeless, would you want to go in a shelter with all those people all cramped up? Some of those people have mental illnesses or some kind of problem. They've been going through abuse. And, some of them are not bathing because they are homeless. They have no way of getting soap. That is not the answer. But anyway, so when I give money, there's times that I am hurting for money. I don't even know the guy's name or the girl's name, the homeless person out on the corner somewhere with their belongings with them. I don't know their name. I don't know. I know they're homeless. There's some of them I've seen homeless. And, where I give willingly, I'm like, you know what? You're in a worse condition than I am. I have a roof over my head. That is unconditional love. God, if anybody's a great example of unconditional love, God is the perfect example of unconditional love. He accepts us for who we are. He accepts our flaws. Like, are you in a relationship where, you might have done something wrong and the person that says they love you, they got married to you, you have Starlight figured out what hand and what ring finger, so you have the ring, you got married, whether you're a guy or the girl, the wife or the husband, and, you're married, and they did something little tiny, and now you're upset with them, and it's a little thing. It's not like they went and cheated on you or did anything like that. Maybe they didn't do something when you expected it, or, for girls, I'll have to pick on the girls. Maybe he didn't, maybe you were hoping for something. This is what happens, with people. Sometimes they expect more from a person, and then when they don't get exactly what they were hoping for, then they get all upset, and then they get frustrated with that person, and, maybe you expected this, and that's what you got to be careful with, is our expectations in that person. And this goes for guys or women, where we expect certain things, and if they don't do exactly what we think, then we might not talk to them, we might give them a cold chill, we might not even sleep in the same bed with them. A lot of women do this. I'm totally 100% against this, and a lot of women out there will actually use sex as a tool to punish their loved one, their male, their husband or their boyfriend. They didn't get their way, and now they're going to punish you by, like, when you, like, hey, honey, let's get cozy, and then she might have every excuse why she doesn't want to have sex with you. She might even lie and make up stuff why she's not going to, but that's not really the reason why she doesn't want to have sex with you, is that she's upset with you. And it had nothing to do, you didn't do anything really that's wrong, you know. She might have, it could have been all kinds of reasons why she is upset with you, you know. Maybe you talked to a girl and she's seen you and she got jealous of you and now she's going to punish you. Is that unconditional love? Absolutely not. You know, if anything, it is best. I am a big believer is on communication. There are times I get upset about things. I might see something that I'm not 100% happy with, but you know what? I am glad I learned this when I went to church about relationships, is communication is the key of a relationship. It is so vitally important. If your loved one, whether you're a husband or a wife, because this goes both ways, even a guy could get jealous of his wife or girlfriend because, you know, she's not having sex with the guy, but, like he might hear a rumor from some of his friends or someone, somebody that's seen his wife or like his girlfriend talking to a guy on the street. Were they doing anything? No, they were just talking. So there's a lot of that goes on in relationships. Is that unconditional love? Absolutely not. That is jealousy, and that is really a very bad thing to actually bring into any kind of relationship. So, and we all can get like a little jealousy, but you know what? You gotta really work through that, and I'm not saying that, you're gonna be perfect. Like those jealousy feelings that could come up, they are very uncomfortable. Has Starlight been jealous before? Absolutely. I am not perfect. But you know what? As I grow, and really jealousy has, to me, my own personal experience. Like if the person you are married with and you do you trust them is the question, or do you trust her is the question. Now, if you trusted them 100%, and maybe you've seen your wife or your husband or boyfriend or girlfriend, maybe you've seen them talking to a coworker or whatever, and and they look like they were getting along great. Is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. So don't freak out because of that little minor. That's nothing. Now the problem would be now if they're sleeping with each other, and not just sleeping as going, and that really you should not be really in the same bed with somebody. But if you actually really 100% found out they were having an affair on you, that they were sleeping and having sex with somebody, now there's a reason to get upset. So we really need to control ourselves and those kind of emotions, and our imagination can go wild. It can go wild, and it does. It has a way of affecting your heart rate. When jealousy comes up, your heart rate will pop right out of the streets. How does Starlight know this? I've been there, where I'm like, why is he doing this? Why, or whatever you might, that's why it's so important, to communicate, with your loved one, if somebody is doing something, and that's why, if you don't trust somebody and you're married to them, and maybe you've seen your guy or your girl, not that they are actually, you don't own them, but your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend, if you just happen to, see them talking to a neighbor, are they doing anything wrong? No, they're outside the house. So chill out. Chill out. That's where you gotta not let this mind, this monkey mind, start picturing stuff in your mind, because that's what happens, is that we start thinking my, what are they talking about? They who knows what they're talking about, but are they doing anything wrong? No. There's a lot of couples, I have been in many of them, You get together with somebody and, like you might have had a guy friend before you got together with your boyfriend or your husband or your wife or your girlfriend. But now that you got together with a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife, now you might have had you could be a guy and you could have had a friend that's a girl, or you're a guy and if you're a girl and you have a friend with a guy, and then, you get together and it's almost like, like I'm going to just stop talking to my friend. It's not an ex-boyfriend and it's not an ex-girlfriend. It's not an ex-wife. It's not, now there's some situations, of course, when you have kids, yeah, you're going to have to talk to your ex-wife, especially if you gotta switch back and forth with the kids every weekend with the kids, with the school. Yes, you got to talk, you know, but, like it should only go to that point of talking because you do have a child that you share together, even though you're could be both married to somebody else. Trust is a big issue. So when somebody says they love you, you gotta love them unconditionally, like especially if you're in a relationship that you're gonna, they're not gonna be perfect. They're gonna do stuff maybe deliberately, or they could test you, to see how you're gonna respond. And it is really important. There's sometimes this happens to people. Sometimes people will try to get you jealous, to see how you're going to respond back. And it's very important to see how they're going to respond back because, if they respond in a really bad way before you get with them, how are they going to be when you are with them? So jealousy is a very powerful emotion that you do not want to overtake you. So if you do get jealous, there's nothing wrong with a guy having a friend that is a female. I would definitely have an issue if it's an ex-girlfriend and you don't have any kids, or an ex-wife and you don't have, there's no kids. And then if I saw, like my husband talking to her, I'd be like, are they thinking about getting back together again? Because they know each other so well. That would be a big gray area for Starlight. If I was with somebody, like, and I was married and I was talking to a guy that was my, like an ex-boyfriend, would he like that I was, talking, with him? I don't know, would he be comfortable? We have been, say if we were together 3 years, we did a lot in 3 years, and it could bring up a lot of stuff going on in the mind space, like wondering if they are going to get back together. So Starlight wouldn't have a problem if, the person that I would get involved with, if he has a friend that's a girl. He doesn't want to be with her because, he would have been with her instead of with me. They've known each other for years. They've been a support system for each other. I can accept that. I would like to get to know her too. Where you got to really be careful of jealousy. And, unconditional love is, like accepting that person's with their flaws. God loves us. He understands why we do what we do, and he doesn't hate us. He actually will have us to learn lessons. You might have to learn things the hard way because of what you did. You might have broke a law or a rule, like in the Bible is, you know, he's not going to send you to hell like people will tell you. you know, he does. He loves us all so much, that he wants us to learn our lessons in life so we can have that unconditional love, have those relationships that we do. If you desire to be in a love relationship or to have abundance, have all the money, like you can possibly, he wants us to be happy abundantly, financially, our health and all that stuff, and because, when God gives you a gift, that's yours to do with whatever you want with that gift. He's not going to take it back and like, I'm going to take back that gift. No, he gave you that gift. What you do with that gift, he gives us gifts. He gives us talents. We are talented. I am very creative. I got an imagination to create. Now, I could use those gifts and talents, or, I could, and I always thank God for this a lot is, thank you for not putting me on the shelf. Thank you that you're using me today. I want to be used of God. I love God. God knows that I love God, the universe. I am giving myself 100% over to the universe because he first loved me before I ever loved him. Or I'm not him, but universe. So do you love yourself unconditionally? Can you accept your flaws? I am learning so much every day. I have so many lessons to learn in my life. And, I learn a lot through guided meditations. I learn a lot through tarot card readers. I'm like, wow, I'm impressed. There's YouTubers out there. I have a deep diver that I watch every single day because he dives deep. Some people cannot handle diving deep, and he taught me about self-love. It is so important to love yourself first. Listen to what the universe wants you to do, and I made a video about, the first video that I created on YouTube is, are you searching for guidance? And that shows you and tells you how to find out what God wants you to do in your life and what you need to work on. That way, the universe is going to speak to you through the angels, through numbers, symbols, signs, tarot card readers. You think it's a joke. It is not a joke. Through people, God uses people like me on my YouTube channel to help and reach you out so you can learn what you need to work on, what you need to let go of, like letting go of fear, letting go of doubt. Self-love is taking the time out and letting go of things and people that no longer serve you, and accepting your flaws. When you can learn to love yourself unconditionally, stop beating yourself up over something you did yesterday or even this morning, where there's layers, layers and layers of layers of things that you got to let go of, things that you got to work on, like working in your heart space, working on the inside. A lot of people, what they're doing is they're looking on the outside. I heard this a long time ago, but now I'm understanding it. Where we are, a lot of times we're looking on the outside, trying to fix everything on the outside, make sure this is all perfect and nothing like a hair. Believe me, I got some hairs back here that's out of place, but I got to let that go. Who cares? Believe me, I'm going to have worse hair days than what I have now because I'm going to grow my hair out, and believe me, you're going to see some funky hairstyles coming up soon with Starlight because I'm not getting it cut anymore. I'm letting this grow. So, so I have to self-love myself. I have to love myself even though my hair is going to look funky for a while on YouTube videos. I got to love myself. I got to accept myself. You know, um, like with anything that I might have did something wrong the other day. I got to let that go. That was yesterday. I got to not bring it up today. And like, oh, you should have done that, or why did you do that? I can't believe you did that. Like, who do you think you are? Like, you got to believe in yourself and, love yourself and be that cheerleader. You need to be, I don't have my pom-poms nearby, but you need to be your own cheerleader. And you might, like love your husband. Be thankful you got a husband or a wife or a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Not everybody has that. There's a lot of lonely people out in the world that are seeking that. You need to really love them unconditionally. But before you can ever love them unconditionally, you got to learn to love yourself unconditionally. Like stop thinking you're too fat. Stop thinking that like you're not enough. Stop thinking that you're not smart enough because that's, like there's areas that I felt like that. And you know what? That's your ego. That's, like your past. That's people that have planted those horrible thoughts in your mind. The way society looks at things. Don't follow the way everybody's doing everything in the world. Don't copycat everybody out in the world. Don't do everything that they're doing because it's the wrong way to do it. The wide way is the way to destruction. I learned that in the Bible. So if everybody's doing that, go do this. Really serious. That's what Starlight loves to do. If most of the people are running to do this new thing or that, I am not getting tripped up by what everybody else is doing. So, I am creating my own path here. I have my own vision where I want to see in my future, like with my twin flame, to be married, to be living together, where we can actually be a team, not enemies, not fighting back and forth, not trying to compete towards each other or against each other. It is so important that, and that's where some couples, they do that, is that they compete with each other. Who's the better, who's either the better husband or the better wife, really love yourself first, and respect each other. If you're going to get if you're going to buy the person a gift, make sure it comes from the heart. I know if it doesn't come from the heart, and it's not a good feeling. I've been there in the past where, somebody wanted my money, and you wouldn't believe the stuff that happened because I was not in my heart space. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I gave you how much money and now you want more of my money? Things were getting kind of shaky for me, financially wise, with at church or whatever, where that could happen at church where, sometimes pastors, they don't want just 10%, but they want 10%. And then later on, they're asking for money for an AC in the church when you're like, I'm so cold. Why would I want an AC in the church? Then they want more money for something else, and then more money for another cause, and then more money for another. It just never ends. If you've been in church, you know what Starlight is talking about. And it's and then, I've gone to church where, the pastor wanted 20% of your income. And not only that, is that he found out, he knew what kind of job you had. He knew how much money you made an hour. He knew how many, I mean, it was really bad. It was really, and I'm not making this stuff up. And, so I actually, gotta say that is really messed up, where there's pastors out there, they're greedy, with, they want more of your money, more, more, more. And if you, you gave from the heart, and that's what I was doing when I went to churches. I gave from the heart. So you definitely want to give of the heart. That's where God really blesses you, is when you're given of the heart. He does not want to bless you when you're holding back and you don't want to give. It's when you give of the heart, that's where you get blessed. There's some people that they don't want to give, and this happened a lot in church when I was in church, is that they would give for the wrong reasons. Why are you giving? Oh, I want to brag and let everybody know, and they let everybody know how much they gave. Oh, yeah, or the pastor, would do this in the church, and he would say, oh, sister or brother in the Lord, they gave us $100, for this thing that, they were collecting money for something. And so they use it as a tool to try to work on other people's hearts, put them on a guilt trip of, hey, brother so-and-so or sister in the Lord gave the pastor, for a certain cause at the church. If you're given because you want to impress everybody else at the church, God isn't going to bless you because you're not doing it the right way. It has got to be from the heart why you are given, with no strings attached. Absolutely not. No strings attached. And that's really the right way to give, is that when you're given and you're like, I am doing this from my heart space because I truly love you and I love you unconditionally. You don't have to pay me back. I am not looking for anything in return, you know. But if you gave me something in return, hey, I would appreciate it, but that's not the reason why I'm giving. You know, I'm given from a pure heart. I'm not given to then other people where I can put my name on it, like, so I can be recognized by the people of the church. Absolutely not. Or to brag about how, go around and brag about, because if you do things in secret, that's when the universe blesses you, when you're not going around and like, I say I give money to the poor, but I don't tell you how much money. I did actually say before though, where there was a couple of people, you know, um, where I did give them certain things, to help them out because they were sleeping in the wintertime. They asked for things. That's the reason why I actually said what I gave, because they asked for it. They didn't lie to me. They asked me for a sleeping bag because they were out in the cold sleeping in the wintertime. And the other guy asked for $20, so it's when it comes from the heart is when God, if you just like, I don't really want to give, and you just, like, you can feel it inside of you. If you're going against what your heart says to give, God's only going to bless you with the money that you really wanted to give. You're not going to get blessed with what you didn't want. If somebody needed something materialistic wise, and you gave from the heart, and like here, how many things I donate and give away throughout my life. I always thought I could have had a secondhand store myself. All carloads of stuff for my whole life. I really have never gone out and sold anything I tried. I didn't get any money though. I gave all my stuff away. God will bless you because you're donating stuff to people that really could use it. There's a lot of stores out there that takes donations. Starlight's always doing that. I got some stuff. You want some? I got lots of stuff in here. I'm willing to give it away. It's like it's easier just, here you go. I am like, to me it's more work to actually try to sell it than to actually give it away. So, make sure, like with your husband or wife, like you keep your heart right with each other, or your friends or family members. Don't try to give for the wrong reasons, like give because you truly 100% love them and you want to see the best for them, like you're doing it from a pure heart of giving. That is God gave. When he gave his only son, like, would you give your only son? Would you give your only daughter? You know, it's amazing. I am like, wow, So I do love God. God knows that I love him because I am given 100%, not 50% of Starlight. I'm like, use me, use my legs, use my arms, use my voice, use my throat, use my eyes, use my hands, like my feet, my legs, whatever, to help other people like you out there so you can learn and grow and be that version, the highest version, the greatest version that you can be, besides be the change that you want to see in the world. It is so important that we work on each other and we love each other unconditionally without looking for something in return. You shouldn't say, hey, I gave you this, now what are you going to give me? I gave you that, what are you going to give me? Because that's not unconditional love. That's a lot of strings attached. So anyway, I know my minutes are coming up. I do love you. And, I am here because I want to serve people. I'm here because I have kids. I have grandkids. This is why I have a YouTube channel. Besides, I don't like the way I see things out in the world. There are, people throughout the whole world that are really, really trying to be the change that they want to see in this world, and we need more people like you. We really do. I love you so much. I really hope you get a lot of help. Like really respect each other. be grateful that you have a wife or a husband. Love each other unconditionally, but first you got to love yourself first in order to be able to love them. So work on your heart space. Forgive yourself for your flaws. Forgive your loved ones for their flaws. Accept that they are not perfect, and that they are going to do stuff. Maybe sometimes it could be purposely. Sometimes it could be testing you. But you know what? God tests us. There is nothing wrong with people testing us. So you got to love them even if they have flaws, because we all have flaws. We all have lessons in life to learn. So I do love all of you, and I hope you really get a lot of help. You can like this video. You can share it with a friend, a family member, like a dog, a cat, a cow. Moo! So I love cows. I used to imitate them, stare at them, and copy them. And so Starlight's a funny chick, you know. So anyway, I love animals. That's why I don't eat them anymore. They have feelings too. You've got feelings, and your dog and cat has feelings, and the chickens have feelings, the cows have feelings, and the fish, they all have feelings. So anyway, that's why I'm a vegan. Besides, I'm eating healthier. So you could share. Whoops, you could share. Well, yeah, I already said share. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can leave a message down below. I can ring the notification bell. You can push the button. You can leave a message down below. You could follow me on Instagram. You can on 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K, Digman Starlight. So anyway, I love all of you from my heart to all of yours. So you make sure you take really good care of yourself. Love yourself. Forgive yourself for all those flaws that you have. Love yourself no matter what you think about yourself. Like God loves you. God doesn't, like the way kids are, kids love you. They don't look on the outside of parents. They are the perfect example. When they're little, they don't care how much weight you are. They don't care what you look like on the outside. And that's how God is. God loves you so much. He loves you unconditionally. And I love you too. You have a great day. And this is Starlight, love and light.